YouTube in here. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to $116,000 on BTC. A little bit of a pullback in the market. However, the market still continues to be very optimistic as it was yesterday, as everyone shrugs off the, the disaster that was the weekend. Or was it a disaster? Are these the moments where true generational wealth are made, where true people that hold the bag are rewarded? Or is it all, yet again, another massive fake out? We're going to be talking about it all tonight, as well as getting into some of the latest news, some chart analysis, and everything else you guys need to be aware of. So again, the title of this live stream tonight is 97% of people are going to lose their money. We'll really talk about the 3% that don't, and more importantly, why. Okay, it is important to understand that. It's important to go through a couple of things. I talked about something yesterday that I think is playing out exactly as I thought it was going to, and I'll touch on that. And I guess my thoughts, I'm not saying I'm in any way some sort of super like OG, like, legend in the space. I mean, I'm pretty close to it, but we'll talk a bit about what that looks like and yeah, kind of how that is all playing out, because I think it's worth noting. And I think there is a realization here that some people got it wrong, and they got it wrong in a pretty big way. So we'll talk about that. And if that wasn't enough, we may have the secret identity of this whale that continues to open up the short positions that now I think, and again, I can't prove it just at the minute, but this is just my opinion, I think he's deliberately trying to create chaos and concern in the market, etc., etc., etc. So if that's something you like the sound of, make sure you smash up that like button to run your all-time high. If this is your first time here as well, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button here on TikTok as well. I'd appreciate it. We just broke 3,000 followers on TikTok, so shout out to you guys. And then YouTube was super close to breaking 40,000 subscribers. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, I highly recommend doing that as well. Right, let's talk about the markets. Let's just say hello to a few people and we're going to get into it. Tim's here. What's going on? Hunter's here. You guys look like all your names have gone back to like the old school weird way that YouTube was messing around at. Swamp's here. Tomato Pete's here. Craig's here. Good to see you. Griff, welcome. Looking great in green, by the way. Griff, love it. As is Viva as well. Good to see you both. Scott's here. Says, are you from Wakey? I was telling my mates about you earlier. I'm not from Wakefield. No, I'm not a million miles from Wakefield, but I'm not from Wakefield. But Scott, good to see you, man. As always, appreciate you being here. Tomato Pete's here. Cracker Jack's here. Gianluca, what's going on, buddy? Michael Sexton's here. Again, Matt Eagle. What's going on, Matt? Welcome in. I mentioned being skint again earlier on my to my ex, and she kicked right off about my crypto portfolio. Why don't you just take it all out and sort my finances? It's a scam, Ponzi scheme. Yeah, well, we all know what Gary Gensler said. You got to tell her, Gus, look, I just got rugged at the weekend and it's a disaster. Anyway. And then welcome in, JJ. Good to see you. Robin Sarah's here as well. Feyenoord in the building said the whale that bet on the crash has put another short on the bet. Yeah, well, I think, and we'll talk about him because I think it's important. I think we know who it is. When I tell you who it is, it might change your perspective on it. But yeah, what's going on? Welcome in. Sausage legs. Love that. Sausage legs. Love that. Casey, welcome in as well. Good to see you all. Appreciate you guys. It's like fresh hope. Yeah, you know it is. You know it. It's like cut grass on a summer's morning. Bitcoin is recovering. So we'll see where we get to right now, but a quick flick on the charts. TikTok, you guys need to look that way as well, and we'll do it. But yeah, quick flick on the charts. Here we go. Look, just under $116,000, a very key moment for us. Are we about to see us break the 50-day EMA, which is the blue line? This could wipe out at least 50% of those losses coming in from Friday. What you can see, though, is very much a flat volume curve, which is interesting. Back up with the 200 EMA, which is, again, important, this purple line, which is good news as well. So what I want to talk about a little bit in this live stream is obviously people that get wrecked. The 97% of people that lose in this market. How do you become not the 97% in this market that basically doesn't get wrecked? And it's partly understanding what the game of everyone else in the market is. And to understand that, you have to understand what the game has changed to. Before, it was peer-to-peer. It was you versus your neighbor. It was kind of like a traditional Ethereum or Solana pump and dump. When can you sell before the another person? That was kind of what cryptocurrency bull markets were all about. The game has changed, and it's changed in a big way. Now it's not about how quickly you can sell on your mate. It's basically understanding when are the big money players going to push or pull this market. And I think when you start to get into that narrative, you start to understand a little bit about what's going on. And if you stay by the narrative that, well, this game is not fair, it's rigged, institutions do not want you to hold your cryptocurrency. Why? Because therefore you are a risk. It's like saying when the first ever dollar was produced, that they just went out and handed out some dollars to people. They're like, hey, look, here is $1 million. It's worth fucking nothing right now, but if you hold on for it for a couple of years, you may end up being one of the richest people in the world. It's kind of a similar sort of story. This doesn't mean that the game is easy. This is about how you find the way to win and all the indicators and everything else that you've got at your disposal. We'll talk a little bit about how the market dynamics shifted and how now, importantly enough, the market is in a very, very different place. And again, it is worth noting that, well, do as they do and not as they say is a very, very obvious strategic way to play this game. Whether that be your favorite influencer, whether that be the favorite news channel, whether that just be the corporate entities that are buying significant amounts of BTC, it is always worth it. And at the same time, well, simply hit the subscribe button and follow this channel and you're probably going to be okay. All right, that's my strategy. But let's talk about what is going on. So I want to start here because I think this is worthwhile to understand why the 97% of people get wrecked in this game, and because they don't actually have any conviction in terms of what they're doing. What they do is blindly lead or blindly follow where other people may not go. And I think it is important to understand market structure, and it's important to understand where these markets can go. This should show you here from 2016 all the way up to 2018, which was prior to the 2021 bull market, but basically the 2017 bull market run-up. What did that actually look like in terms of corrections? Now, this is very different to what we have right now. Let's just talk how it is. Your institutional money that are going to hold and supposedly are going to hold much, much more. We'll talk about that Crackerjack because I have that as well. Again, I think it's an important topic to discuss. But what it shows you is these are moments in time in which you can lose everything. And for many of you that were here live with me on Friday when the markets were collapsing, so many people were selling their portfolio. You'll have read all the stories on crypto Twitter of people saying they lost absolutely everything. Equally, people saying that they sold everything and now the market's rallying back up again. Now, for those that have been around for a while, those that kind of understand what market structure is all about and the fact the game's rigged, you will have kind of just rallied some of this where they're out. You kind of go, what's going on, Selmo? Good to see you, man. Beeb's here as well. Good to see you. You will have rallied some of this out. And actually, we've not really seen deep corrections, okay? Deep corrections we've not even seen. If you're holding spot positions, you're going to be fine. Leverage positions are always going to be slightly more difficult. Now, what is worth noting, by the way, even after all of this pain that came in, we're actually still in a pretty good place in terms of where market structure sits and where we sit in terms of some of the technical indicators. I'm not saying that indicators and technical analysis is the way forward, but in some cases, it's important to understand Bitcoin continuing to maintain itself above the 21 EMA, not EA Sports, but EMA. It's in the game. Bitcoin is maintaining this EMA support at the candle bodies higher and higher lows. So we've talked about candle bodies being an important metric. We talked about this the other day where we had big candle bodies at the bottom or wicks down showing momentum change. Okay, and this is important to reference this, by the way. So here you have a big body on the obviously dump that came in. You then have the big wick at the bottom. So what happened is price came all the way down. As we saw live when we were streaming on Friday, it came all the way down to the lows here around 105,000 with then a correctional change back to the upside. And that's exactly what we've seen here coming in around this kind of support level. So again, if you sold any of your cryptocurrency here, you basically got wrecked, all right? You played exactly the game that they wanted you to play and you sold everything that you didn't need to sell. Important to think about it. Now the market's kind of coming back in and, you know, people are dipping their toes slowly back in the water. We are actually now starting to see the markets rally a little bit. And this is down to a number of key things. You've got Federal Reserve discussions going on this week. You've got, once again, a weakening dollar. And obviously you've got loads of data that's suggesting that actually the economy is kind of okay. As much as maybe the narrative is that it's not, the reality is that it's okay. And it is important to reference that, well, people just are impatient. This is a really interesting market right now, and it's going to reward those people that are patient in this market. Now, that's not blindly hold your bags until, you know, the end of the earth. But it is understanding where markets are, and it understands where markets are going to go. Remember, we've been discussing this all the way since 2021, 2022, probably a bit more favorably, when you don't want to see markets absolutely skyrocketing 24/7 a day. It's not sustainable. This is where you end up with over leverage, which is what we've seen, which is people getting super crazy hyped on where markets are going to go, over leverage themselves, and then end up completely and utterly screwing everybody else at the same time. This is obviously not where we want to see this play out. It is obviously, though, when you look at this, very much favorably to understand the rest of October, or the best of October, should we say, very much sits post the 15th. If you look here from the 1st of October to kind of where we are in terms of the 15th, the reality is that this is a relatively flat curve, okay? If you go straight a line, it's a relatively flat curve. Let's say 1%, okay? Post the rest of October, so the 15th onwards, we actually then start to see a exponential growth, significantly increasing from about 10%. Now, you would be fools to think that that isn't how it's playing out right now. 0.89% currently is where we sit for the month of October, therefore giving us the best upside potential to come in for the rest of the month. So yet again, it is important. Right now, people may be getting into all of going, oh, I'm sick of this market. Everyone's told me it's going to go to the moon. I'm still waiting for it to go to the moon. I'm bored of it. I should have sold it years ago, blah, 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 blah. Okay, all that kind of stuff, which is fine. But everything right now is playing perfectly along the lines that we expected it. More upside potential is here post the end of October than was in the beginning part. And in my opinion, all of this that you get, all of this noise right now on crypto Twitter and all these people telling you that the markets are bearish, these traders now open massive things, all I will cast your minds back to is somebody who goes by the name of James Wynn, okay? And I'm not hating on James Wynn. He's not someone I'm going to hate on. It's not my place to hate on anyone. I'm not saying he's a bad person or anything like that. However, you know an industry plant when you see one. James Wynn was the hyperliquid, super bullish whale that basically lost freaking everything. He was massively over-leveraged, basically became a hero overnight, and then all of a sudden then wasn't, okay? And if you're curious, here's James Wynn. Look, this is the account. Ran up to $100 million, didn't take a single thing of profit, came back down. I personally think exactly the same thing is playing out right now with none other than apparently the BitForex CEO, or should we say former BitForex CEO. Interesting. There is obviously at the minute no acceptance that this is the individual, but CZ Binance allegedly, or I don't know why I call him CZ Binance, but you get my point. Xiaopeng Zhao, let's call him that, a bit easier. Allegedly has doxed him. Now, I mean, you don't want to go against Xiaopeng Zhao when he's trying to push Asta to the world's leading DEX out there, but allegedly an investigation is now revealing the whale that's alleged the former BitForex CEO worth around $10 billion. Just to give you some real absolute clarity, this allegedly is this individual here. 83AE is the wallet number, which is super crazy. Oh, sorry. CO60, which is super crazy, short on the market. And so far, he is getting absolutely wiped out, down for about 16 million. And I believe they are actually closing some of these positions, albeit doing it very, very quiet. What you can see here is some massive shorts on a number of different coins, BTC being the big one, that they actually added to this position as well. So why is this important? Because at the minute you've got people following these accounts like crazy people. Open interest is soaring. People are shorting the market, and for no freaking reason. It's absolutely no reason to short this market as well. So there is certainly the desire. You've got some big spot positions as well, by the way. So when you start to understand what's going on, this guy's hedged against his own bets. Pretty interesting if you ask me. For example, he's got an $8 million USDC position, as well as a $3.5 million hype decision. Oh, what a surprise. Trades on Hyperliquid. 3.3 million in Fartcoin as well. So my opinion, when you've got this and you have a market structure that looks like this is how people get wrecked. They blindly follow people they shouldn't be following, rather than going and understanding the market, doing their own research, and coming to a conclusion that they, well, either decide and agree with or not. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Take, for example, the total market structure sits at a $3.9 trillion market cap with a slightly bearish divergence coming in here on the 50 and the 20 EMA. This will flip bullish, if you ask me, over the course of the next 2 days. And I think the market then continues to push further up. A little bit of bearishness is not a bad thing. Remember, you want to see people coming in at lower prices versus where they've been. The really interesting one, though, where we sit right now, is the total market cap excluding BTC and stablecoins, which just broke back above the 20-day EMA, has got volume coming in, which tells us that people are now looking for positions in altcoins. Surprise, surprise. We're seeing this move back up as well. That's at the same time BTC dominance continues to collapse, as does USDC's dominance as well. So if we were to summarize why 97% of people are going to get this wrong, is they have no conviction in what they want to do. They have no plan. And all they do is blindly follow people on the internet. This is a bad strategy. You can absolutely be part of a community. You can absolutely be part of a broader picture. If your sole investment strategy is, well, 2bit said, I think it's going to be worth putting some money in it, this is a bad strategy. You absolutely should talk about what's going on in the markets. You should be part of a community. And in my opinion, you should join our Discord because it's a good place to chat through things. Ultimately, people shouldn't be telling you what to do, but this is why loads of people are going to get wrecked. Now, when you take out the don't follow anyone, there are certain elements that are worth following, and certain elements, like I said at the start of the stream, that you should do as they do, not as they say, okay? And I think this is an important reference to talk about. So what am I talking about when I say that? Well, when we talk about ETF institutions, okay, we talk about inflows. We talk about people buying enormous amounts of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and really putting their money to work. We'll discuss things like Citibank in a minute, but what do we have yesterday? We got a little bit of outflows, $4.5 million, okay? No one really cares. IBIT bought in. We also got Grayscale selling off a little bit. Overall macro sentiment today, we're seeing cautious inflows. Remember, these are customers that are looking for positions in digital assets. So again, worth noting that this is, you also have BitMine buying $827 million worth of Ethereum since Friday, okay? So since the market collapsed, BitMine have purchased more Ethereum than ever before. This is important to think about as well as they continue to stack enormous amounts of bags. And don't forget, Michael Saylor bought another $27 million worth of Bitcoin at 123K before the crypto crash. And then today bought some more, okay? So they have bought, not only on Friday. And then to top all that off, by the way, Grayscale buying over 45,000 Bitcoin during market close. So when we talk about market structure, by the way, and I thought this was interesting on the 15-minute chart, and I want to just bring your attention to a couple of key points. We're looking at two windows here, okay? So we're looking at kind of today. What do we get? So here is market open, okay? This is where we go. So this is the start of the day, basically, that we comes in. It's a very tight range. You guys want to see this on TikTok, by the way. It's a very tight range here trading on the price of Bitcoin. But there's a couple of things to note. This was Asia. Asia did push the market a little bit. Not crazy, but they did buy the dip, okay? Which is important to reference. We then got the usual market sell-off as, we got kind of Shanghai, India, and the rest of the kind of Malaysia, etc., open at about 5 a.m. We got that sell-off into here, which then we saw European markets starting to come back in. European markets got hyped. Pre-market data suggested that markets were bullish. We then got the market open around here, and then the European markets dumped all the way in. And the reason they dumped all the way in was, I think people were still a little bit unsure about what was going to go off with the whole Israel thing. People are still very undecided in terms of US markets and how they were going to play out. We then got optimism rallying as people started to look at, hold on a minute, pre-markets are looking super good news, by the way. And they're looking very much bullish in terms of where they are. They actually did. Here's the US Open here. So we rallied into the US Open, dumped on the announcement or the Open, as was expected with the stock market. And then we've rallied ever since. Correlated perfectly, by the way, to people removing out of risk assets. Look at this, 30-year treasury coming down, as well as the 10-year coming down as well, over 2% freaking percent. This is great news, by the way. And then you see gold rallying a little bit, breaking new all-time high, S&P 500 rallying. So the market kind of has shook off Friday and gone, well, we don't really care. It's life. It's life in the world of a cryptocurrency market investor. But these are some of the key things to be aware of and some of the key things that you need to understand. What's going on, Vern? So what does that then leave for the rest of this week? What does this play out like? And more importantly, what can we expect? Well, we actually published our full Sunday report in our premium Discord. If you want to get access to that, by the way, you can become a channel member here on YouTube, as many of you are right now. Also, you can subscribe on TikTok. You're going to get access free to that premium Discord service if you so choose. And I definitely think it's super, super bullish, by the way. And yeah, what do we call and what do we put in there? Well, the reality is that we got positive stock market futures open higher. Again, we'll watch what that looks like. But bullish lean. The fact BTC held up relatively better versus altcoins suggested that the respective at least worst asset in the space under stress. If price can convincingly reclaim and hold the moving average region, we may see another try at resistance layers above regulatory shifts in the UK, market retail adoption, feasibles, which could bring new flows in. That is exactly what we got. Markets held on the 20-day EMA, pushed through, and we got the bullish confirmation here on the 15-minute, once again, pushing back to the upside. This is where we got that retest of 116. So I think, and I said this, it's good on Fairground, and I said this in my update video. If you haven't seen that today, go and watch it. Markets, in my opinion, are actually optimistic. Markets have shrugged off the biggest liquidation event in history. Binance and all the rest of it got what they wanted. Now it's freaking time to run this back up to a brand new all-time high. Within 2 weeks, I think we're going to be back above an all-time high, and I think that's why you've got massive amounts of money pouring into the market, BitMine buying huge amounts of cryptocurrency, and everyone else starting to get way more bullish on where they have been. So again, worth noting. Now, we'll talk about the news in just a minute, and we'll talk about a couple of key things to think about, but I think that is where we sit. So good news. Good news. Okay, Zebek is getting a cracking listen on Wednesday. Is it really? Nice. Athia held up very well after the token unlock yesterday. Yeah, it did actually. It does. Has he blinked yet? He's AI Holmes. Sorry, I'm back. I'm back, baby. I'm back. TikTok can see that I'm real. So yeah, he has a time frame for the top change yet. I don't know what that means. Does anyone use trading 212? No, Kevin, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And again, if you are interested in that breakdown, again, we could talk about a lot of other bits and pieces, then yeah, check it out, by the way. Right, good. That is kind of where we get to. So we do have some other news. We'll talk about this, by the way. I think it's worth discussing. I think this only, he has his time frame for the top changed yet. Oh, no, it hasn't. No, I'm still 2025. I'm still 2025. Although it's clinging on for dear life. You ever seen those TikTok videos where you can like send in a donation and it like attacks a fish bag? That's and they're like hanging. You like the 2p machines. The 2p machines where the 2p looks like it's about to fall. That's where I'm at right now in terms of 2025. Still in the bull run, the Fox? Yes. I mean, we're still well in the bull run. Think about this. The biggest liquidation event in the cryptocurrency market history, and we're still holding up 115. We're probably going to break 116 by the close, is my opinion. So yeah. I use 212 for my shares. I said, nice, Zach, what's going on? Welcome in, Future Hope. Happy Monday. What's going on, buddy? What's going on? 2-bit bringing the market back to life. Foz, you know how I do things around here. Anyway, is Phantom good to use as a wallet? Yeah, I like it. Everything Solana I trade through Phantom. Yeah, I think it's fine. Daniel, what's going on? Thank you for all the gifts, by the way. You guys are crushing it. Things will be bullish midweek, I reckon. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Fairground. Don't be a sheep, follow others, baby. Exactly, yeah. Exactly. Okay. Let's talk about this. Two big banking changes today. Citibank coming, and actually Standard Chartered adjusted their price prediction for BTC as well. But Citibank is now going to be offering cryptocurrency custody services by 2026, along with, guess who? JP Morgan. They're going to be now integrating blockchain. They already have their own blockchain, but public blockchain, as well as custodying and offering custody services to their customers for institutional clients only to begin with. But again, big news. The city will be offering this in 2026, combining in-house and third-party tech. It's going to be pretty interesting. The Genius Act and regulatory clarity drives US banks toward digital asset solutions. There is a debate right now whether that is actually been passed already, and we're just kind of waiting for the whole, rigmarole of it to go through. But yeah, pretty interesting if you ask me. And Wall Street explores blockchain stablecoins to enhance cross-border movement. So the fact that Citibank have done this, and they've kind of pivoted a little bit recently. They were kind of a little bit anti-cryptocurrency. Now, after everything's gone wrong, it's like, oh, yeah, well, yeah, I actually think crypto's fine. Like, we should definitely get involved in it, and I think it's going to be super bullish. So the initiative follows a regulatory shift under President Trump's administration, and Citi wants to provide a secure alternative for holding digital assets. This is the big thing to think about. This is the kicker. You are now, in some instances, going to start getting banks custodying crypto, which is a pretty big deal. There is a reason, and I did put a TikTok out about this. There's a reason why Tether, USDT, are now accumulating enormous amounts of gold and Bitcoin, right? It's pretty interesting, right? Pretty interesting. So you are going to see them accumulate crazy numbers. That's why gold's still going up. Banks have been buying gold like lunatics. And I think we're going to see the same thing happen when it comes to Bitcoin. The minute you start to see custody over there, then it's going to be interesting. Citi is also exploring stable coins for clients operating in regions with limited banking infrastructure and payment systems. They are wanting to get there first. Pretty interesting. The bank believes digital currencies could enhance commercial activity in underserved areas by offering faster transactional options. Although some banks remain cautious, regulatory clarity has reduced uncertainty and encouraged broader participation. Citi's push into crypto custody reflects a larger industry trend towards integrating digital assets into traditional finance. Bullish indeed, if you ask me. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you saw this, Forbes today announcing Donald Trump's personal wealth in cryptocurrency is one of the biggest out there, $860 million. So, again, as a personal investment, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting as well. CD banked Brad Garlinghouse, now all in on crypto. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It is absolutely crazy to think about it. So, but this should give you some confidence that, well, the market's going to get bullish. Standard Chartered, again, revised their Bitcoin price prediction as well. They're now going like super, super crazy. And lots of people are now, getting pretty bullish on the market, which I think is good news indeed. Man, I suck at crypto. I'm down 9K money I've put in. I really hope I get to even. Wow. That is, well, it depends what you're invested in, by the way. But I mean, I mean, it depends. But if you bought like the super top of the market like a couple of weeks ago, I could see that. It's almost like the reset is beginning of like, yeah, I agree. And I sort of touched on this on yesterday's stream and a little bit on Friday. I don't believe right now this market's ready to roll over. Think about it. No bull market in history has ever finished on a massive liquidation event like that. Bull markets don't finish at that point. Bull markets finished on overhypeness, people going crazy, and like all this kind of like crazy shit going on. That's when bull markets finished. When, you know, Doris from down the road driving around in a Lamborghini Urus because she decided to buy Fartcoin for 50 cents and she somehow made 300 grand. That's the top of bull markets. When you've got celebrity influencers going, oh, yeah, I've been buying Bitcoins for like the last 10 years. Like, bro, let me tell you, I bought Bitcoin before Satoshi Nakamoto, and you're like, okay, then top's in. We need to definitely start selling and getting the hell out of some of these positions. Like, when we get that point, when Katy Perry tells us that she bought Bitcoin before Satoshi Nakamoto, then we probably need to start worrying. But until then, we're probably going to be all right. Bitcoin B-Jam, what's going on? It says, hey man, can we please look at Toshi? Could it go to 5 cents? Yes. Stick around for another 5 minutes. I'll bring the full DeFi section up where we'll talk. First coin will be Toshi. I'm literally going to bring it up on my charts right now, so I've got it. Thank you for the 10. Appreciate that, my man. Stick around though. 5 mins. I'll bring it straight up, buddy. We'll talk about that. The first coin in the DeFi section is coming up. Sitting at $345 million market cap, by the way. So just so you don't think I'm faking it, there it is. We'll talk about it in just a minute. Okay, cool. Right. There is, however, some stuff we need to think about. Yeah, when your wife talks about crypto, this, yeah, absolutely. When she comes and goes, hey, are you still investing in that cryptocurrency? The answer is no. I am not. I got wrecked at the biggest liquidation event in history. Did the biggest liquidation? Oh, yeah, he must have got wrecked. See? Sensible. Okay. Jerome Powell is speaking tomorrow. Now, remember, Powell has this completely ability to completely crush markets. Don't know why, but Jerome Powell will be speaking at the World Economic Outlook and Monetary Policy event. I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world, by the way, but could influence specifically if he talks about rate cuts, broader monetary policy. He's probably going to talk about Friday. Let's just call it as it is. He's probably going to bring up like the whole, oh, well, this is the nervousness with tariffs. It may even allow him to pivot a little bit and say, yeah, we might be cautious around potential further rate cuts. Markets don't believe this, by the way. We've only got 2 weeks until we actually get potentially the October rate cuts. Still 98.9% expectation as labor market continues to weaken as well, by the way. Obviously, we move into PPI and CPI a bit later on, which are going to be some key things. But tomorrow, we obviously have Powell speaking, Fed Waller, who, remember, Waller's pretty bullish on the markets, by the way. Collins, doesn't really matter. Bowman, bullish on markets, bullish on cutting interest rates. So we could get a real sort of, you know, split, I guess, in terms of where that sits. And then Mirren's going to be interesting. Stephen Mirren are talking on Wednesday. Then we get into a bit more of that data coming through on Thursday. Worthwhile thinking about. But yeah, we'll kind of see what happens. Ethereum nearly fell 20% same window, while Solana, XRP, BNB recorded losses between 12 and 18% on the back of the 1.66 million crypto traders liquidated as the market experienced a sharp downturn, wiping out 19.33 billion. I mean, we'll see if Powell's like part of the team or not. Like, we'll see if he just goes for the jugular when it comes to Mr. Trump. We'll see what happens. Anyway, that gives you a little bit of the updates on the news. That gives you a little bit in terms of the charts, and also gives you my view on how to win in this market. Patience is key. Not over leveraging yourself, and really like allowing yourself the time to get into this. Every single person that's in crypto right now did not come into this as an expert in the crypto markets. They joined communities, they worked hard, they lost a shit ton of money, and they came back fighting stronger. And I think that's the real reason we're going to see this massive market move. You could already see traders pouring back in. $2.5 billion of open interest surged back into XRP over the course of the last 48 hours. Bitcoin and some of those are exactly the same as well. You only have to look at the altcoin market to understand how much capital is flowing back in and how quickly it is coming back as well. Just look at some of the meme coins. They are pumping to oblivion. For example, Pepe up nearly 5%. Bonk. Then if you saw Bonk, by the way, 1 million holders. Let's fucking go, baby. Bonk's going to be great. Okay, good. Right, that gives you a bit of an update on that. If you've got any questions, thoughts, opinions, statements, whatever you want to make, by all means, let me know. We'll answer those. Obviously, I'm going to bring the Toshi chart up. We'll talk about what that looks like. And then we're going to get into kind of some of the bits and pieces here on La Marqueda and what we could expect to see. Okay, so I'm going to do the Toshi chart in just a minute. It's an institutional run. Institutions are euphoric, predicting huge ETH prices. They could be at the top of the cycle. I think that's why ETH's probably going to have a big run, in fairness, because I think institutions are buying crazy amounts of Ethereum. By the way, just do me a quick favor. We've got over 100 people in the stream here on YouTube. Just give me a quick thumbs up. I would have not literally at the screen, you massive choppers. Come on, head down to the bottom, find that thumb, give it a little tap. I'd appreciate it. Likewise, nearly 20,000 likes already on TikTok. So shout out to you guys. TikTok army coming in fresh right now. Just give me a quick little tap on the old screen. I would massively appreciate it. It does help out the algorithm. Lets people know, hey, this 2-bit guy, he's kind of worth watching. And I'd massively appreciate it as well. So yeah. The banks told Ripple the only flaw during testing was liquidity in the wholesale market. The retail and corporate markets work perfectly. So either XRP price needs to go up to be implemented or they become their own bank. If you haven't seen that breakdown of exactly what's going with that Ripple bank, you should definitely go and check that video out because it's wild. Pepe, any good, bro? I bought a small amount. I think so. I'm pretty big into Pepe. I think it's either going to be one of those crazy, like, people are going to go, man, fuck, I should have bought Pepe. Or it's going to be like, I can't believe I bought Pepe and it did nothing in this bull market. I'm hoping for the first one, by the way. Andrew Gibson, what's going on, man? Welcome in, buddy. Okay, now, I did say I would look at the Toshi chart. Here we go. What do I expect with Toshi? Now, what you could argue right now on the Toshi chart is it actually looks, Alliance, thanks very much, actually looks like a good news story, okay? Listed on Binance, listed on Coinbase, it's actually pushing up pretty well. Chart looks pretty good. Market structure looks pretty good as well. So, can it break the points you wanted to look like? What did you ask for? Can it get to 5 cents or something? Was it? What did you say it was? Yeah, 5 cents. Honestly, I think that's a pretty big ask, personally. Could it get there? I mean, yes. Is it likely? No, I don't think so. It's currently, it would have to break 1 0, 2 zeros, 5. So you're talking like a $3 billion market cap right now. Again, is it feasible? Yes. Is it likely? I don't think so. But again, market structure actually looks pretty favorable. Volume still feels okay. Think about this, though. $345 million market cap, 187K in volume, and some of it looks a little bit on the old manipulated side, but again, that's just my opinion. So, could it do well? Yes. I see loads of people talking about it, right? I see loads of people hyped about Toshi. I think it's got an opportunity for sure. I do think, though, that, you know, shiny coins will probably do some bigger numbers, but as it stands, Toshi looks okay, in my opinion. In my opinion, buy in now before it goes up. Not financial advice, baby. Fairground knows what's up. BNB, the only safe bet? No, I don't think so. I think there's loads of top 10, top 15. You're probably going to be okay. BNB, if anything, I mean, BNB feels a little... I think BNB is due a correction. That's just my opinion, by the way. I mean, look at this, by the way. This chart we had. I actually feel like BNB might get a little correction back to, like, you know, maybe retest like 1,200 or something. But yeah, there are loads of goods. I think Ethereum's a pretty good bet. It's all about risk versus reward. What are you prepared to risk versus what do you want to be rewarded with? If you want less reward, you take less risk. If you want high reward, you take more risk. It's just the way the market works. Doesn't mean that sometimes you can't take low risk and get massive gains. I mean, look at Solana, for example. We were buying that at $8. That was a pretty obvious buy. I think Ethereum at 800, pretty obvious buy, etc., etc., etc. XRP at 30 cents at the time felt like a pretty solid buy. Turns out that was a good buy, but there was a couple of moments you're like, oh shit, I don't know if we've done the right thing here. But they don't. Yeah, but don't forget, BNB is manipulated. You gotta understand that BNB is the native coin of Binance, who own pretty much the whole supply of BNB. So they burn it, they buy it, they sell it. Don't believe me? Go and have a look at the Binance wallet exchanges. They will manipulate BNB. So the best way to look at BNB, for example, is the big dip that came in. BNB was one of the less affected coins. Okay. So you're telling me that exchanges wouldn't allow customers to trade funds. They all went down. The biggest liquidation event in history. And what? BNB managed to hold up pretty well? Get out of here. Get out of here. Mike, what's going on? I'm so hot bothered about the market right now. You love to see it, bro. You love to see it. But yeah, I mean, look, it's similar to, you know, if we get kind of base, etc., and they decide to get Aerodrome Finance, that'd be good news. Tell you what I haven't actually looked at. What Aerodrome Finance? Crypto Watcher. Thank you so much for the heart, mate. Appreciate it, my man. I haven't actually looked at what the APR is on Aerodrome Finance. Remember, this goes up as the price goes down, so I don't know what it is, but let's take a quick look. It's it's still 6%. Get out of here. Rubbish. Anyway, Snek didn't done bad either, though. Yeah, fair play. I mean, I was in Snek for a while, but I'm not in that right now. I mean, Cardano's up 3.5%. Just saying, baby. Just saying. So, yeah, good news. Okay. If you got any coins you want to take a look at, any thoughts on the market, any questions, maybe you're brand new here, don't forget, tap the follow button if you are here on TikTok and it's your first time. This is one of those like no bullshit kind of channels. All right, I'm a genuine like I have a full-time job and I'm a dad of 3. I just want people to win in this space. I'm not here to kind of, you know, take you down a path that you don't want to go down, etc., etc., etc. So if you like that sort of content, then get involved. Likewise, if you're here on YouTube and it's maybe your first time, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't, give me a quick thumbs up. I would appreciate it. And remember, if you want to get access to our Discord, link in the bio and on the description. If you want to get access to that premium Discord where we break the markets down, give you some trade setups, etc., 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 you can become a channel member here, as many of you have, or be a subscriber here on TikTok as well, and you get instant access to those accounts, which is good. Right, Algorand. We haven't looked at Algorand for a while, actually. And would Algorand be setting up for a big, big move? Now, I think, just my opinion, Zebek, we'll take a look at Zebek in a minute, because that is a really interesting coin. I mean, I can't trade it anymore because it does my head in, but I think with Algorand as well as HBAR and many of those, Calamari, what's going on, buddy? Then I think we're actually setting up for some pretty interesting stuff here when it comes to some of these coins. For example, Algorand is in a very big downtrend, as is HBAR and lots of the other ISO 222 coins. I personally think they are waiting for November the 18th, where I think we're going to get some of these listed. That may be the moment we need to be in some of these coins looking to trade. Remember, sometimes you just need to have a little bit of capital to trade some of the opportunities. Now, it has broke back above the 20-day EMA. It is slightly bearish, though. We did get a bearish cross all the way back here. So Algorand, outside of the dump, is actually still trending a little bit negatively. So again, worthwhile thinking about that. Where do we think Algorand could go? And we've talked about Algorand a couple of times, actually. If you look at where we sit right now on some of these key Fibonacci levels, I mean, it's difficult to kind of take the real dipperino on there because it doesn't really make any sense. You probably need to be like here somewhere, really. That probably feels like actually like a bit more appropriate. Then we're looking to break back above the 2-2 range. So this would be where I'd be looking for. If we break the 50 EMA at 2162, then I think we could be then repositioning for the 382 at 22 cents. This could be the news story. I think Algorand could start to push a little bit further to the upside. So again, keep your eyes out for it. I think Algorand's a good call. I think ISO 222s will do very, very well. And yeah, I think those whole ISO coins, November should be a good month. I mean, people are kind of predicting that November is going to be a pretty big month anyway, which, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Are you the next big boy? Seems like your channel is growing. Bitcoin, BJ, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I hope so. Nice. He's the next Mr. Beast. I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. We'll see. Imagine you bought Atom at 0 on Friday. Yeah, did you not see that? Someone got a 300,000% gain on that. If Ethereum staking protocols have done so well, Lido, what about Chainlink's official SDL at $10 million market cap? The only thing you've got with staking protocols is who uses them and what the benefit are. So with staking protocols, so Lido Finance is pretty good. You've got World of It Financial that kind of uses that, as well as a couple of others. It's how they can deem when markets turn and how they're offering it. I think it's all right. In terms of Chainlink's official SDL, I'm not super up to speed on that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know a lot about it. But I think staking, by the way, is fine. And I do it with Solana, Aerodrome Finance, AVAX, all that kind of stuff. But there will become a time when it's kind of not worth it. So, yeah. Just, again, I'm not going to kind of call any names out specifically, by the way. But I did want to just reference a couple of things. I want to just quote somebody. I'm not going to obviously say who it is because that TikTok gets a bit weird about it. But anyway. Says this, Bitcoin, after considering today's stock market open and the fact the markets completely ignored the China tariffs, we are doing exactly what we needed to do as outlined in the Sunday report. We already took profits on half of our short positions and re-entered the market on the day of the crash, realizing maximum profits and entering back the market at maximum lows with half the position size. Now it's time to take full profit on the remaining half of the BTC short, along with the rest of the remaining altcoin shorts, fully closing all the shorts and basically going long on the market. What a surprise. What a surprise. Here's my prediction, by the way. That individual, I'm not going to say who it was literally sat there going, oh my God, please, I need to find some reason to get out of this and become bullish again. Like, I mean, it's the most obvious playbook in the world. Anyway, let's make 30,000 likes to get it fair ground. SDL accrues fees from real link usage. Nice. Well, I mean, in that sentiment, then, yeah, that should be pretty good news, if you ask me. Integration of Chainlink, though, that's going to be the hard bit, isn't it? I wonder if we can see kind of what that number looks like at the minute. Just out of interest. But yeah, I'm not super up to speed on it, to be fair. What's your thoughts on Link? You'll think it'll take a while to come back. I mean, the whole market's taking a little bit of time to come back. The difference with Chainlink, I talked about Chainlink ages ago that I thought it might end up being the missed coin. That I thought it might be the one that does loads of good stuff, that kind of holds half the market together. And then people just kind of miss it. And all of a sudden it's kind of like, oh my God, where did that come from? So I actually kind of like Chainlink. I did consider buying some on Friday, but I DCA'd on positions back above to 20 bucks. It's at a key level right now. So you're looking to break back above the 20-day EMA at 20 bucks 349. If we get to that point, then yeah, Chainlink could be good news. It actually, you know, probably one of the more bearish altcoins, not in terms of momentum, but just in terms of where it is right now. So yeah, I think Chainlink definitely has an opportunity. I think it'll be a slow burner through the bull market though. I think it will be a slow burner through the bull market. State linked 5%. Yeah, see, 5% APY is okay. You get 7.45% on Solana. Huge partnership, Swift, DTC, US Treasuries. Yeah, I mean, look, the whole Chainlink thing was good news. Bought 200 link, average cost 15. Nice. What's going on, Johnny Howie? Yeah, I do think Chainlink will do well, by the way. I do think, again, though, I'd argue that Chainlink's kind of up there, isn't it? Do we think Chainlink's going to 10x where it is? Yeah, probably feels like it might do. I mean, 200 bucks, does that feel like reasonable? Yeah, probably. We'll see. Chainlink will be a slow grinder. I think it will melt faces. Yeah, I mean, maybe. You got to think about it, though. It got approval by the US Treasury, and it hasn't gone like super mega crazy. It's kind of moved from, when did that get integrated? Hold on a minute. I've gone onto the weekly charts. I didn't want to do that. When did we get that? I mean, it must have been. I mean, you could argue it's had a pretty big run, hasn't it? Where it is now, though, 82%. Yeah, I mean, it's had a pretty decent move. Could it go higher? Of course it could. I think there's a lot of potential sat there with Chainlink. As I think, by the way, a lot of other altcoins are. I don't know if you guys have looked at your portfolios recently. Like, mine's getting back there. It's still. You could tell it's taken a beating, but it's getting there. Do you know what I mean? It's coming back, which is good. Chris, what's going on, buddy? Chris Moore in the building, everybody. Can you look at SPX 1600, please? Yes, I can. I've been seeing loads of people talk about this, by the way. Lots of people think this could be like the big mover of this bull market. I'm unsure, really. I'm unsure. I still kind of feel like Pepe is going to be the one, but I mean, market structure looks okay. It's doing some good volume as well. I mean, you could argue it's in a uptrend, but yeah, I mean, loads of people are going like way hyper bullish on this, and I don't know. I don't get it. But then I think meme coins are a bit slow at the minute. I do think they're going to come back, by the way. I definitely think meme coins are in for another big run, personally, but a little bit quiet out there right now. But look, it's doing 6 million volume, so you know it's solid. The interesting thing with SPX, by the way, when you look at some of these other ones, it still has 1% pooled, which is very high, actually, compared to things like Pepe, Bonk, Shib. Interesting. SmartCon next month, Swift going live, DTCC going live, quadrillions in daily transactions. I'm excited about it, man. I think Chainlink could be good news. As with anything, though, when it gets too techie, people kind of just miss it. And this is why I say that I think Chainlink could be one of those that people miss, personally. Bitcoin BJ says ETH at 20k, some saying only 12k. I think ETH at 20k is a bit of a stretch, personally. Now, you could argue and say, well, 2-bit. You are full of nonsense. And Bitmine buying 200,000 Ethereum's a pretty strong move, by the way. That's a pretty strong move. But yeah, I mean, could it get to 20k? It's going to have to do something. I think some of the upgrades coming to ETH might be good news. But I think a 20k Ethereum is a bit of a stretch. Personally, I could see 12, probably super top end. I think more likely between 8 and 10 is probably where I get to with ETH. I think, look, I'd like 8.5k is fine for me. Would I like 12k? Yeah, it's going to be way better, but yeah. Did you mention Zebek? I had to walk away for a couple of minutes. No. Let's talk about Zebek. So I have stopped trading Zebek because I can't do it, because it literally drives me insane. Because whenever markets pump, Zebek dumps. Whenever markets dump, Zebek pumps. It's super weird. I don't know why. I think, and people are going to hate me for what I'm about to say, but I think there's a little bit of manipulation in Zebek. I'm not saying by the actual team, by the way, but you look at some of these candles, they are way, way too wiki, if that makes sense. But I think the actual infrastructure that sits behind Zebek is very good. I think it's got a foothold in. I think it had its hype run up, and I think what's important now is it's holding up pretty well. It's starting to grow. You're seeing way more adoption on it. You've got like, I think they're close to 55,000 monthly users, which I think is good. And you've got, I think the last number was like 200 people or 200 companies or whatever is starting to integrate with that particular network. So I think Zebek's definitely got a play. I do think there's a couple out there that are going to try and steal its thunder, and sometimes it's maybe not always the first that wins. But so far, I think it's got a definite good opportunity. I think it needs to, I'd like to see it break above this like 4-4 range, start retesting maybe the upper range. We still have some of our lines drawn on our charts, actually. The low kind of support level feels like 3.8 right now. So look, if it was to come down and retest that, maybe an opportunity. It is just holding up though. It's not bullish, not bearish. I know that's not the greatest of like statements in the world, but I like it. Asta has got some, Asta, I don't know if you guys have seen, by the way, Asta has got an airdrop coming out. Interesting. Also, this is for Craig, by the way. I don't know if you've seen this, Craig. Look at this. Bonk leads all token in whale inflows. Everyone's buying fucking Bonk. Let's go. Over the last 30 days, top 16 monthly whale USD flows, 33.6 million. Let's get it. As pump fund fades. Get out of pump fund as people start to panic that, well, regulation could totally shit the bed when it comes to pump fund. People are starting to look for a little bit more strategic positioning, something that offers the same kind of vibes and feels, but under a way more structured platform. That's where Bonk Fund comes in, okay? Which I think is good news, by the way. Not paid promotional videos, by the way. These are just my opinions. I'm actually holding a Bonk. I think it's going to do very, very well, which is good. Which is good. How about World of It Financial? Okay, we need to talk about World of It Financial. I talked about this the other day, by the way, and I did go a little bit deeper than I wanted to on World of It Financial, but I'm just going to come out and say it. All right? And people aren't going to like what I'm about to say. I think you should absolutely have a bag of World of It Financial, because if you think that that thing's not going to run up, you are absolutely out of your freaking mind. And yes, there is significant supply control, but go and research Alt 5. Go and research Alt 5 and understand their kind of part to play within World of It Financial, and equally Hut 8. Go and understand what they're all about as well, because when you understand those two, and then you understand why they have so much investment into World of It Financial, you sort of go, this could be an interesting one. And then you double down on the fact Donald Trump's net worth in Bitcoin is one of the biggest out there. You kind of go, okay. And the metrics they don't tell you about, by the way, the hold account is still growing on World of It Financial by about 0.25 to 0.5% every single day. By the way, nearly 80,000 hold it on a decentralized platform. There's even more that hold it on centralized exchanges. So I actually think that, yeah, World of It Financial is going to be good news. And they still have all this locked in the multi-sig and all that kind of crazy stuff. So, and there isn't actually crazy amounts in exchanges. What's important to reference here, though, is that some of the bigger numbers, DWF Labs, Tron DAO holds about 80 million. Yeah, I think World of It Financial is going to do very well. Bonk is my meme. Hope for this run. Yeah, I think it's going to do well, by the way. Bitcoin says, I have to say your channel is pretty awesome. Thanks, man. I prefer to watch this versus the BitBoy streams now. Hey, love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, buddy. Bonk or Pepe this run? Calamari, both. Oh, dear. That's how I got. Cheese says, I disagree on this one too bit. You don't think World of It Financial is going to do anything? Oh, bring it, Cheese. Look, the good thing about this community and the good thing about the crypto market is not every coin is for everybody, and I think that's important to reference. I think it's important to reference. How much World of It Financial is enough? Some. That's where I would get to. I'm sorry, I don't know why you are all celebrating. Alts are down 80% from December. Redemption, here he is. Only comes in when the market's down. What's going on, Redemption? We're celebrating because people bought more. DCAing. We're like those crazy investors that are like, it's gone down. Buy the freaking dip. With what? I don't have anything. Linear. Oh, I like the fact you've... How many times have you typed it? I'll ban you. If you type it once more, I'm banning you. Don't type it again. You do not... This channel... I mean, I don't know what channels you guys watch where the host doesn't even respond to any of the questions you put in there. Linear, we talked about it on the channel. Haven't ever got into it. I think the fact that you've got integration now into the US government's a pretty good news story. And I think the fact they've done an airdrop, haven't they, on Linear? They've done a pretty good airdrop, I believe. I'm not like super crazy on it, if I'm honest, but I think it's a pretty good L2. But I talked about this a little bit yesterday. This is where I think you're going to start seeing a little bit of advancement in L2s over other ones. I think you are going to start to see some of these L2s support the Ethereum layer 1. If they support layer 1, then I'm fine. I'm fine with that. SWC. Diet Pepsi Lemon Twist typed scam. Okay, cool. You could have typed it as one word, though. I don't think you need to do it. I don't think you need to do it 5. Oh, no. We're really working on spelling scam out again. Do I know you? How about Asta, man? Hyperliquid Killer. Yeah, look, I mean, with Asta, you're going to get this kind of thing where the airdrops are going to be something you're going to have to kind of wait and see what happens, right? They're going to create a little bit of nervousness in the market. They had to tweet out today, I don't know if you saw this, saying, we are moving funds around as part of the airdrops. Okay, that's not super great. That's not super great, by the way. And I'd rather them say, we moved all these funds. Here is a multi-sig wallet. 8 people of the developers are all connected to this wallet. And then that's how they kind of push it out. I don't want to see funds move around every time there's a freaking airdrop. Like, I'm not about that. So, but I do think it's going to be good. I do, and probably am in a world where I think Asta will perform well. Do I think it's going to go to these crazy numbers that people are talking about? $35, $40. Do I think it's going to outperform Hyperliquid? Probably not. Probably not. Could it do like what BNB's doing? Yeah, it's got Binance back in. They have a little bit in terms of the DEX volume that was a little bit questionable. So they've got a little bit of FUD they need to get rid of. But I think it'll do pretty well, is in my opinion, by the way. SPX 6900 flying, believing something. Ricky, yeah, we just looked at that, actually. We just looked at it. Isn't that like every other channel that ignores everyone but the members? I mean, it's like, what do you talk about if you are going to talk and integrate with you, like interact with community? It's super weird, isn't it? I bought some dips on spot, most of 30% of my entry, so I'm not. So I'm selling now. Redemption's just absolutely crushing it right now. Love it, love it. Will there be financial made a ton of money on Friday? They have an insight, 100%. Yeah, did you see that they dumped it all and then obviously it collapsed and they all started buying it back in again? If First Nero got back to if you can get rich. Yeah, I mean, that's true, Glenn. Is Cosmos dead? Own a bunch of it. Not moving, kind of nervous. Atom forever, $20. I mean, Atom was one of those hit very hard on Friday. The Cosmos ecosystem, I actually quite like. The issue you've got is, and this is why you got something like Polygon Matic, by the way, that's only 25 cents. Like, who's going to use it and why are they going to use it? People are like going back to OG. This is why I think Ethereum's going to do well. That's why I think BNB is going to do well. I mean, you could argue we're seeing Zcash, Dash all go crazy. Like people are just going back to old school chains, which is insane to me, to be honest. So I mean, yeah, I just don't know why. If you're a newer investor, you just aren't going to care about Cosmos. That's just my opinion. Like no one even gives a shit about an IBC. No one really cares about what it offers and how it integrates a number of different protocols. No one really cares about it. What do people care about? They care about meme coins on Ethereum, pictures of dogs. That's kind of where we're going to get to. Or, as we're now starting to see, the savvy investor, the 2022 investor that's coming back is looking for, utility, perp decks. I think perp decks, by the way, in January, okay, Holmes, don't shoot me down here, right? But it's a big if this, by the way. If we were to go into 2026 as the top of the bull markets, let's say this extends into February, March, April, and you get all of these regulations coming in. We know the UK government's going to be getting data sent to the HMRC about unrealized gains, etc., etc., etc. I think perp decks will ignite and absolutely skyrocket. And I think that's where something like Asta, Hyperliquid, as well as a couple of others will go mega crazy. Because I think people will suddenly realize, oh shit, I need to go and trade on decentralized perp decks as opposed to a centralized exchange. And I think that's when you could start to see some pretty strong moves. We do need to get there though. And there's a debate whether we'll actually get there. We'll see that. We'll see that. Call me Mika says, someone said 130 is probably it's too top. As in what? Bitcoin 130k is the top. Sorry, H bar not going to make me rich, is it? Look, I talked about this earlier on. It depends. And this is where it's important to understand context, isn't it? If you've got $100 in H bar, no, it's not going to make you rich. If you've got $300,000 in H bar right now, you might be okay. Define rich. I mean, my view, by the way, is don't come into the market with a view of how do I get rich with a coin. Come into the market of saying, how do I leave with more than I came? Remember, 97% of people are going to get wrecked in this market. So if you come out of this bull market better than when you went in, then you know what? It's a pretty good job, in my opinion. See, look at this. It's just a tweet out from Asta, by the way. After internal review, we've identified that issues which led to the unexpected claim opening time was caused by an incorrect time zone setting. To ensure fairness, we will open the airdrop claims earlier for all eligible users. The updated claim schedule is as follows. It's like stuff like that. It's like you shouldn't get that wrong. It's like one of the biggest perp decks out there. Don't get that shit wrong. That's what they need to stop doing. It's kind of where it frustrates me, stuff like that. But anyway. Tax on realized gains sound realistic. It may change by the time we get there. I think it could be interesting. I think there'll be a lot of lobbying for them to change that. I think there'll definitely be demand for it to change. I don't I hope they don't integrate because it's going to be rubbish. It'll be rubbish, in my opinion. 10 to 20k is a nice, yeah, that's true. 26,000 likes, nearly 30k. Let's hit it. Yeah, smash up the screen. Don't smash the screen. Don't smash your screens. Tap the screen gently and get some hearts going. That'd be great. Redemption says Zcash pump has marked the end of every cycle. Really? No way. I'm gonna. No way, bro. No way. You are literally spouting nonsense right now. Where is Zcash? Where the hell is it? Zcash pumps have marked the end of every bull market cycle. You are not telling the truth. No way on this earth is that true. No way on this earth. So Zcash pump happened in April, November, and pumped again March 22. That was not the top of the bull market. November 21, wasn't it? When did BTC crash? Top was November 21. Well, we got a little run, I guess. But I mean, it definitely didn't call it. I think it just ran the same as every other altcoin, by the way. If you're going to go down that narrative, what other's an old school coin? You could argue that most of them will probably do that. I don't necessarily think that's true, by the way. But what you can say is Zcash has been on an absolute form right now. Bear in mind, though, top price still like $5,000, so it's still miles away from its all-time high. Just my opinion. Don't buy the hype. Crypto Watcher says CSPR Casper. Yeah, what's that been doing? I see a couple of people asking me about that. What's going on, Jeff? I know I checked Zcash. It didn't pump last cycle. There we go. Redemption just absolutely wrecked. Just brought the heat. Brought the heat right now. That's why I keep telling my ex, it's not a matter of how long it's taken or what I have in there now. It's a matter of coming out the other end knowing I'm a bit better off. Craig, and look, I'm fortunate that I don't have an ex-missus. I don't have an ex, and I hope I don't end up with one, by the way, because I actually quite like my missus, in fairness. But if she was my ex-missus, I would absolutely make sure that she 100% thought I'd sold everything in this crypto market. She'd be like, so are you still doing that crypto? Oh, man, I honestly, I got this. There was this guy on YouTube. He was telling me that the markets are going to explode. So I took everything I had and I went in on 100x leveraged. Everyone told me the market was going to go up and it went down. I lost it all. Can't believe it. I'm absolutely devastated. I'm never investing in that scam ever again. That's how I would play it. That's how I would play it personally. Bitcoin buy jab with another $10 donation has just smashed my screen. Can we look at Swift coin? I'm a bag holder and I'm nervous it wanted 35 cents. Yeah, of course we can. Of course we can. SWFTC, isn't it? Tim, are you still in this? I feel like Tim's still in this. And if Tim is still in this, then you're probably fine. But yeah, I mean, hold on a minute. Is that the right one? 35 cents? Bro, this is never getting to 35 cents. 35 cents? Are you kidding me right now? But look at the right one. SWFTC, yeah. SWFTC. I'm looking at the right one, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah. 35 cents feels like a stretch. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. 35. I mean, I don't know what you bought in price, but 35 cents feels like a super stretch on that coin. If it gets some crazy shit integration, then yeah, maybe. But I mean, look at the volume. 25k in volume. 3.63k holders. I mean, 35 cents. 35 cents is like a brand new. Do you mean 35 cents or do you mean 0.35? I feel like you might mean 3 cents 5, which I guess, is that possible? Break a zero, maybe, probably a little bit more likely. 35 cents is like, yeah, not sure. Not sure. What do you think of Solana? I'm bullish on Solana. I have a decent bag of Solana and every single bit of it is staked right now, earning that 7.45% APY, baby. I think I earn about, I was thinking about this. I think it's about $20 a week. I think maybe it's a bit more actually. Maybe it's like $30 a week or something, which my people might go, oh, well, yeah, $30 a week. Oh, brilliant. 2 bit. That's a great fucking thing. But hey, it's better than nothing. BNB. I mean, yeah, I have some BNB. I think it'll do well. Look, I think is it going to do two grand? Maybe. Honestly, memecoins are fine. She was never with me for money anyway, so I've told her with my portfolio and what I have is yeah, that's the way to do it, Craig. I love it. Tim the Bear was the bottom signal. Tim the Bear was 100% the bottom signal. Oh, dear me. Yeah, 100%. I mean, people don't understand this market, and that's how you should, even with everything that's going on and even this kind of craziness we have, understand you are still very early in this market. We're pioneers in digital currency. And, you know, hopefully if you invest for the reasons I invest, which is that I hope one day my kids can do whatever they want to do and they never have to worry about money ever again, then that's why I do it. You know, Daniel says, have you got a video on staking? It feels too good to be true. Am I missing it? On Solana? No, I have a video staking on Airdrome Finance. Do people want a video on staking? It's super easy, by the way. Deposit Solana into Phantom Wallet. Make sure you write your seed phrase down, everything like that. Just go and validate it. Go and research proof of stake networks. Proof of stake networks basically reward people for then staking their coins. So yeah, it's like 7.5%, I think it is right now on Solana, and I earn 5% on my Airdrome bags, and I think it's like 3% on my AVAX bags. I was at one point staking XRP, but not anymore. I bought 1 million Zebek on the dip. We'll just let it ride, baby. Gary, like it. Like your style, by the way. Gary, whenever the market dumps, sell that mother trucker and then just buy back in at the bottom. I might start actually. Should we set like, maybe we should do this tomorrow night. We could set a Zebek grid trading bot up. Are you guys interested in what that looks like? I was thinking about doing this before. I actually have one running on MEXC on ETH, I think it is. Can't remember. But Zebek you can buy on MEXC. I could set a grid trading bot up if people are interested. We could do it live on the show tomorrow night and just set one up for Zebek and just put like $500 in it and see what it does. Could be interesting. I don't know if people are interested in that sort of stuff. Maybe they are. I could just give you 35 cents. Kevin. It's an AI coin. SWFTC has some serious, but yeah, I mean, I think it definitely has some opportunities for sure. It's a long way from where it has. Speaking of earning, shout out to Nexo. Very good rewards just for holding the platform. Nice, AB. Love it. Where do you say you Solana? Literally in Phantom Wallet. So I stake with a validator in Phantom Wallet. You can stake. I think Phantom actually have its own validator right now, but yeah, you can literally just go into it and it'll say start earning with Solana. You press that button and then you stake it. Dead easy. And yeah, you get like 7.5% on it. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yes, me. How about show us how to set one? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. Is that interesting? Are people interested in looking how you set a grid trading bot up? I can set one up tomorrow night. If people are interested, they're pretty interesting. They are as challenging, shall we say, though. Like you can get wrecked on grid trading bots. Like you can lose everything as well because you have to set certain price points and liquidation levels and all the rest of it. But if you've got an asset that trades within a range, so for example, you could trade Zebek here between 5.2 and 3.6, and the bot just trades between this as it goes up. So buys on the way down and sells on the way up. If you guys are interested, then remind me. Maybe we can do it tomorrow night. Maybe we'll do the first part of the stream tomorrow of how to earn with your cryptocurrency or something like that. Staking, grid trading bots, etc. Can do it. Could do it. I think Swift Coins is Chinese equivalent to XRP. 35 cents might be low, honestly. I mean, hope so. Hope so. I don't own any, by the way, but yeah. Right. I thought we'd get 116 on BTC, actually, but look, I'll take it. 115.759 is a pretty good price, actually, right now. Nice little bounce again. Now 2 days in the green, which I think is good news. So hopefully we'll start to see that push up a little bit further. Yeah, that's a good idea for us newbies. Do you know what's even like crazier? So I can literally bring my phone screen, albeit I'm live on TikTok, which means it's a bit more difficult, but I can put my phone screen onto my stream so you can see my phone screen. So I can show you that. Will Trump get the Nobel Peace Prize? He didn't get it. They gave it to someone else who dedicated the win to him. It was the other day, wasn't it? I wish I was making money for wrecked pretty bad on Friday. Yeah, I mean, look, everyone got wrecked. The only thing I would say is, and I talked about this a number of times, always have a little bit of stable coin on the side. So I discussed this on Friday, which allows you to, take advantage of the dip. So I'm now accumulating stable coin to then get ready if there's more dips. So I haven't got loads of stable coin, but I've got a bit that, again, it's tempting to be like, oh, I'm just going to dump it into this market and see what happens. But I'm going to hold on to it as I think, look, altcoins are starting to push right now. 3%, total 2, by the way. That's everything excluding BTC and stablecoins is now pushing back up. This big white line here on the chart is the all-time high. Like, we're not fucking miles away. Think about this. Biggest liquidation event in history, 13% away from an all-time high on the total 2. Pretty bullish if you ask me. Pretty bullish if you ask me. Trump won the meat raffle, so it's all good. Man, did you remember meat raffles? I used to go to a working man's club that did that. It was like the meat raffle on a like a Friday night or whatever it was. It was great. Anyway, I think I won it twice. It was brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. We're at 28.7 thousand likes. Just tap the screen. If you haven't already hit that follow button as well, by the way, join the community. Definitely worthwhile, in my opinion. Get involved. If you want to join our Discord, it is totally free to get involved, by the way. Link is in my bio. If you want to get access to trade alerts, the bots that we have in there that can do actually tier for you guys as well, then become a channel member on YouTube. Simply go into the description, find that link. And also you can subscribe here on TikTok as well. And just let me know what your user account is and we will give you access to that Discord channel. I think we've had a couple of people join this evening, so welcome, and I hope you enjoy your time there. We will definitely build this way more out. There's going to be loads of cool ass shit going to come on that Discord. It's just going to be a cool space to be in my opinion. But if you are interested, then definitely get in there, get involved, and yeah, worth it, in my opinion. I think we got like 220 people in there right now. I mean, not everyone's as chatty as they should have been, but hey, look, we'll take it. 220 is fine. I'd love to know how to get, how to set a bot up. Well, I mean, I tried on Telegram and they're pretty, it's a big pain in the ass. Go and learn Python code. That's all I would say. If you want to know how to do bots, Python code is kind of what you need to do, in my opinion. Where's Marbits? Marbits is still there. Kevin, if you haven't already seen, go and have a look at the Telegram. And if you've got any concerns, DM me. But as Marbits is parked at the minute. Marbits is parked at the minute. There is some discussions going on with somebody that kind of wants to revive it a little bit, but that's entirely with them. It's not something I'm doing at the minute. All I would say as well, Kevin, if you haven't already gone out and checked rekrabbit.com, probably worth checking that out sooner rather than later. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. I hope it's not a bear market already. Nah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Think about it. Look at this. Look at this market structure right now. You don't understand, to move the market like it's moved. Think about the amount of capital that's coming into it right now. Just think about that amount of money. $510 billion of volume today. Yesterday, we got $476 billion of volume. So understand, yeah, we're not close, in my opinion, by the way. In my opinion. So all the metrics in the minute, if you ask me, are looking pretty favorable. Yeah, Fairground knows what's up. Odin came out with 1 2-bit, just solve for now. Odin came out with 1 2-bit, just solve for now. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think we have. I think I have access to that Odin bot. It's a while since I looked at it, but yeah, all gravy, baby. Man, this live stream flew by. We've been live an hour and 10 minutes. Sometimes I don't even know where this time goes, by the way. I genuinely enjoyed talking to you guys. Way loads of fun. So if anyone's got any last questions, any thoughts, any opinions, you know, what's going to happen this week, what can we expect with the Fed rate cuts, is that going to sales bullish, whatever it is, then yeah, let me know. By the way, don't forget, we'll have some content coming out. If you haven't already checked those videos out, by the way, I highly recommend going and checking it out. The Bitcoin video was good, and my XRP video as well. I would highly recommend going and see them. Obviously, I'm going to be bullish on my own stuff, but I think they're pretty good. How do I get a bot? What do you mean, Bitcoin Bijan? Let's round off. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, Fairground. Do it. Do it. Official coach JV, what do you think of XRP and XLM? I think I'm bullish on both. I don't own any XLM, and I was thinking about getting some, but man, you can't have everything, can you? You can't have everything right now. What's Casper doing, by the way? I haven't seen that. Anyone know? I don't know what price it's at right now. A trading bot. I mean, looking to, but you get referrals for sharing. Oh, is it like a trading bot? Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Oh, here we are. Yeah, I've actually got it here. Ordering tools, the Thor trading bot. Yeah, see, I have BonkBot that I use, and I have BonkBot integrated with ATM.DAY, which is like, if you're interested, link in the description if you're going to go and get a premium subscription for that. That supports kind of new token launches, tries to get you in a little bit early. I've had a couple of decent ones. Equally, I've lost my ass on a few of them as well, but yeah, I mean, the Solana roulette is super weird, but yeah, interesting. But yeah, trading bots are okay. They're okay. You got to understand. I mean, I've found ATM.DAY has actually done pretty well. Again, you can get a discount, referral links in the description if you're interested, but equally, you've just got to be on it. You've got to live in that world, and I can't afford to live in that world. I just don't have the time to sit there and be like, coin launches, go and have a look at it. Is it worth it? Yeah, drop a sol in. Great. I just don't have the time to kind of do it. BTC going to 109 from here, Tex. Why? Why is it going to go to 109? You're not allowed to come in and just stay. Why is it going to go to 109? What's your thesis? What's your thesis? You can't just come in and be like, yep, Bitcoin's got to 109. See you later. Great. Great. Oh, dear me. If it's a bot, they should be better than people, right? Well, all it's doing is looking at certain things. It's like, for example, okay, I'm going to go super like basic here just to try and show you something. Let's bring up, let's go on ETH. We need to just bring a random meme coin up. Let's bring up Kong. Has this been out a while? Okay, $3 million market cap. Looks like an absolute bag of spanners. Okay, fine. So what you have, and this is where you have to be a little bit conscious. Yes, bots can be quicker than people, but they're only as good as their programming, okay? They're only as good as their programming. So the reality is that they will only look for certain things. The best example I could give you is this, okay? Which is Token Sniffer. So Token Sniffer is an AI automated scam detection, basically, right? So this is this coin we're going to look at here, look. So all it's going to do is run on-chain data and then tell us stuff. You've got to be able to interpret this. So on the surface, you could look at this coin and be like, oh, hold on a minute. Well, that feels fine, and that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. But it's zero. And then you go, oh, liquidity pool's not fine. What? Oh, hold on a minute. Why is there no liquidity? It says the liquidity here. So bots are good at, in my opinion, by the way, bots are good at pointing you to something. You have to make the decision, though, whether you think it's worthwhile or not. That's my opinion. Do you think XRP will hit $50 before the end of this year? No. No. My bullish super bull case for XRP is like $14 by the end of the year. Super bull case. Like mass adoption, banks are buying it. Like I still don't, there's no way it goes to $50. So when people go, oh, XRP is going to go to $10,000 overnight. No, it's not. Like unsubscribe to those channels. Just my opinion. Can bots do my washing up for me? If you get one of those Optimus things, they probably can. BTC to 93K, fill the CME gap. Do you know there's a CME gap at what? 3,600 or something? Someone said the other day. Oh, dear me. Oh, I thought they could do it all. Robots are supposed to be better than people. So they can, but they'll only look for certain things. They'll only look for certain things. So it's like, have a look and see if there's a liquidity pool on a V2 on Uniswap. Is there or isn't there? That's what they're going to say. Levi said 55K XRP tomorrow. Bullish. Bullish. Love it. Fly Mendy says, buy now. Can I buy? What do you want to buy? Me? My own opinion, $50. Fair play. Hey, look, fair play. $50. Mate, I'd love it if it goes to $50. Think about how much capital that's got to be, though. Think about how much money you would need to get XRP at $50. $50. XRP would need to do a 1,800% increase from where it is right now. Like, think about that. That's a big old move. I don't know what that would look like as capital flow, but it would have to be a pretty big number. Let's see if we can get it to work out. I can only see XRP at 10 maximum by the end of the year. Yeah, Julian, I look, like I said, my sort of bearish case is like 6 to 8, mid case 8 to 10, super mega bull case like 12 and a half. So in summary, it would need super basic mathematics here. If you wanted to get XRP to a $50 price point, which would be an increase of 1,800% from its current level, you would need roughly $500 billion, maybe even more, to get it to that price. That's a fucking lot of money. That's a lot of money. But look, I mean, hopefully it goes to $50. I'm down for XRP at $50. 100% I'm down for XRP at $50. Let's hope it gets there. That's my opinion. All XRP needs to do is move. I mean, XRP could get there. I think the escrow is the unlock. I did a video talking about, potential escrow burns, removal of supply, etc., etc., etc. But People kind of don't want to speak to that narrative, but I think that's where it's going to happen. I think they've got to do something with the escrow. There's only 2 months left this year to get real XRP. Would be about $6 if that was not too long. Yeah, that's true. Only about $1 billion will be left in circulation eventually when it all gets locked up. I mean, that is also true as well. If you were to get, banks coming and Bank of America announced they're going to buy $2 billion worth of Bitcoin, $2 billion worth of XRP, which if you look at XRP treasuries, then that's where it starts to get a bit more interesting. If you look at total treasury companies, by the way, and you look at XRP specifically, sitting right now $11.5 billion. If you look at Rex Osprey's ETF as an example, that holds 56% in XRP. You just need to get some of this done. You get a couple more companies, you get this to like $500 billion worth of holdings, and pretty crazy. 2bit, you sell at 10. I definitely sell some at 10. Yeah, 100%. Retail about 5 billion, and about a quarter of that would be locked as well. Everything else. Yeah, I mean, that's true. $10 I would definitely sell some. Yeah, definitely. Like 50% probably. Is a 6K ETH too conservative? I think so. I think ETH could hit 6K by the end of in theory, it could hit by the end of October, but whether it will or not. Remember the company Prosper that Chris Larson owned back in mid-20s? XRP will go up. Yeah. As long as he doesn't keep selling his bags, then yeah, it's fine. See you later, Fairground. Appreciate you, Biddy. Catch you tomorrow, hopefully. Flare buying it. Well, look, Flare's TVL now is about 600K, I think. So they're getting there. Would you buy Ethereum Classic or Quant? I definitely don't think I'd buy Ethereum Classic. Quant, I talked about Quant. I think Quant will just grind its way up. That's my opinion. I think loads of people talk about it. It's a good coin. Maximus Crypto, definitely going to check him out. He talks way more in depth about Quant and a few other coins. But yeah, I think it'll just grind its way up. I could see it breaking $200. ISO 222 compliant. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on with Quant, in my opinion. But yeah, not for me though. It's too slow. But I think, again, when we talk about risk versus reward and appetite, then, Quant could be one of those that, makes some moves. I mean, $92. Yeah, it's up 1% on the day. Could be a good one. XRP is also deflationary. It is deflationary. It is way, way not as deflationary as I think people think, though. It is deflationary. It is. But not in the sentiment that you would hope. It's not like it's burning, millions of XRP every day, but it is deflationary. You're right. You are right. Burn rate is ridiculously low. Exactly, yeah. I mean, what's the total that is burnt recently? 14,217,000 XRP to date. That's in history. So it's not like the craziest number ever, but I mean, it burns a little bit. It's better than it not burning, I guess, but that's why I think the escrow is probably a little bit more that could see as you could see that kind of support narrative, but it's got to be way bigger. Now, you could argue with some of the stuff going on XRPL that's going to support a bigger narrative, but we'll see. We'll have to see. I hope you're holding on a good decentralized wallet. Yeah, my XRP's in my ledger. There you go. Look, never miss a crypto thing. Join the Discord. There you go. Link in the bio. Link on the chat. Get in the Discord. It's definitely worth it. Do you know the more people go in the Discord, the higher the price of Bitcoin goes? I don't know. I don't know why that is, but just saying, if you want to make sure the price of Bitcoin goes up, join the Discord. Worth it. I mean, I don't know why it keeps coming up with this. Super annoying. My headphones have turned off. So yeah. All right, cool. Well, we're nearly at 20 past. Oh, hold on a minute. I need to just do this. Actually, I need to get rid of that. There we go. Magic Craig knows what's up. Check out recrabbit.com. Highly recommend it. What's going on? Dear love too. Welcome. Yeah, that brings us to the end. We've been live like an hour and 20 minutes. All right, cool. Feeling it. I'm vibing this like little bit of extra, like 20 minutes on the end of it. So if you have just joined the stream, by the way, don't forget I go live 9 p.m. at UK time. That's 4 p.m. Eastern every single day. If you want to understand what I was talking about tonight, 97% of people will lose their arse in this crypto market. Don't be the 97%. Be the 3%. How do you be the 3%? You subscribe to this channel, you join our Discord, and you are here. I live stream. Hey, Bitcoin BJam, I live stream 6 days a week. 9 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. Eastern, 6 days a week. That's where I'm here. And also, I put content out every single day as well. And if you're in the Discord, I'll probably answer that as well. So I'm now up for at least another couple of hours doing all things cryptocurrency content related. So you can grab me in there. But let's see what tomorrow brings. Feels like markets are warming up again. Thanks so much for the heart, mates. Appreciate that. Becoming the number 15 in the fan club. Love that. Love that. By the way, I think if you come in this fan club, by the way, it gets me into like a slightly different league up here somewhere, which I think then supports the channel a bit more. So shout out to everybody that's dropping the heart maze. Love it. Thank you so much. Your fan club has completed the first stage of the club quest. Club cheers have been unlocked for all fans to send and celebrate. Don't know what it means, but well done, everybody. Thank you so much. So yeah, definitely recommend it. We'll see what happens. I think BTC closes over 116 tonight. That's just my prediction. I think we should. And if you look at where we are right now, we broke on the daily, the 50-day EMA. So again, just a quick look here. Look, you can see here we broke the 50 EMA. This is good news. If we can continue to see this rally, then yeah, Bitcoin may even break the 116. I think if we get to that place, life is going to be good news. So with that being said, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for all the support. Don't forget, do hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with all the latest in the crypto market. I'll be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK. Do not miss it. As always, it's going to be an epic show. So until tomorrow, thanks so much, everybody. Catch you soon.